Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a cool text animation for Christmas using Filmora. This animation was inspired by Dope Motion's After Effects animations, and I'll show you exactly how to create it step by step. So let's get started. Alright, let's start by adding a text layer to the timeline. Then go to the advanced text settings, and in the text box, I type the first word of Merry Christmas. Next, let's add a nice font style for this, so I use the Niagara solid font style. Then we need to add the second word Merry Christmas, so I added another text layer and typed Christmas here. Okay, then select both text layers and center them like this. Next, let's add some colors to this text. I changed the fill type to the gradient. For the first color, I use orange, and for the second color, I use red. I also changed the gradient angle to 270 degrees. You can add a color for the second text layer as well, but I prefer to keep it default. Alright, now we have created our first text layer. Next, we need to add a dot and slash line for this. Before adding that, let's create guidelines to find a safe area. So you can simply drag a guideline like this. Okay, after that, let's add the dot and slash line for this. Simply add another text layer to the timeline, then type a few dots like this. For the font style, I use the Arial Black normal font style and change the font size to 14. Then go to letter spacing and change it to 5. Next, go to the transform settings and adjust the text position like this. Okay, it's perfect. Then let's add another text line. I add a new text layer to the timeline. For this text, I type Wish You a Very. And for the font style, I use Roboto medium font and change the font size to 19. Then go to letter spacing and change it to 5 as well. Go to the transform settings and adjust the text position like this. Next, let's add the slash line layer to this. For that, we need to add another text layer to the timeline. I type the / key to make the slash lines. I keep the font as Roboto medium and change the font size to 21. I also enable the bold option here. Then go to letter spacing and change it to -2. After that, go to the video section and unlock the X and Y scale. Change the Y scale to 55. Later, adjust the layer position like this. We need to add a few more forward slashes, so I add them like this. Okay, after that, we can add a mask to this slash line layer to fix both corners, but we can do that later. Next, we need to add a copy of these layers to the bottom. So I simply take a duplicate of these layers. Then I adjust the position like this. Alright, after that, let's add the shape to this. For this, I use this illustration design, so it's black color by default. Let's change it to white for visibility. Go to the curves, select the main curve, and bring the middle point to the top left corner to change it to white. Then we can flip it upside down and adjust the scale and position like this. Alright, next let's see how to change the color of this shape. I need to match it with this red text, so let's change this to red. Go to the color section, select color wheels, and change the highlight wheel to red. Also, bring the slider to -1. For the midtones, change the color to orange and set the slider to approximately -0.50. For the shadows, set the color to red and bring the slider to -1. Next, go back to curves, select the red curve, and move the middle point to the top left corner. Then, go to the brightness curve and adjust it to achieve a nice red tone. Alright, it looks perfect. Let's move on to the animation part. Start with the first text layer by selecting the first line of text. Go to text animation and add a slide up animation with a duration of 1.5 seconds. Then, select the second line of text and add a slide down animation with the same 1.5-second duration. Next, select all the dot and slash text layers. Go to Text Animation and apply a round zoom out animation with a 2-second duration. After that, select these mini text layers and go to the animation, then add this animation with a 2-second duration. Okay, now the animation looks like this. Now that we've added animations to the text layers, let's move on to animating the shape layer. So I like to add slide up animation to this. Start the animation at the initial position and move the shape down to a value like 170. Create a keyframe here, then move forward by about 2.20 seconds and bring the shape back up. Now we've created the basic animation, but the shape is visible through the text layer. To fix this, let's use a mask effect. Go to the Effects tab and search for Image Mask. Add this effect to the shape layer. In the Effects settings, select this mask and adjust its height and width to fit the shape. Next, use the Y position to animate the shape. Select the first keyframe and increase the Y position like this. At this point, if a small part of the shape is still visible, so you can adjust the mask height to hide it. Then create keyframes on both height and Y position. Then go to the next keyframe and set the Y position to 0 and the mask height back to 110. Now that we've created the animation, let's refine it using the key graph. Go to the key graph, select all the keyframes, and apply the ease out graph. Repeat the same for the other keyframes. Now the animation part is complete. Then let's add a copy of the shape layer at the bottom. First, change the shape layer into a compound clip. Then simply take a duplicate of this layer and then flip upside down. Then we can adjust the shape position. Alright, next let's adjust these layers because all the animations are happening same time. So I adjust these layers like this. So you can see now the animation looks much better. You can change the second text to a different line. For example, I changed it to Happy New Year. Also, we need to add mask to the slash line layers. To do this, first, change it to a compound clip. Then, repeat the process for the other text layer. After that, select the layer, go to the mask, and add this mask to this. Then adjust the mask width like this. Once done, simply copy the mask you added and paste it onto the other layer. Now the main part of the text animation is complete. Next, let's see how to change this to simple animation like this in Filmora. Start by selecting all the layers and converting them into a compound clip. Name the compound clip animation and move it to the third layer in the timeline. Alright then, let's add the background. Go to the stock media section, select black, and add it to the timeline. Then I need to change this to gradient color. Go to the Effects tab, select Boris FX, and choose Grads and Tints. Then apply the radial tint effect to the layer. In the Effects settings, change the first color to black, the second color to red, the third color to orange, and the fourth color to the same red used earlier. Next, adjust the radial grad size to 150. Then, go to compositing and reduce the opacity to 15% to create a dark, subtle background. Then to enhance the look, let's add an overlayer to this. For this I use this overlay, and I split this layer like this. Then, go to compositing, change the blend mode to screen, and reduce the opacity to 50%. Also, let's adjust the particle color, so go to the color, and I increase the temperature to 100 to get nice red color. Then I like to add fade out effect to this overlay layer. Go to the transition, and I add this dissolve transition to the overlay layer. Then I adjust the duration to 1 second. So now the background is ready. So next, let's add spin animation to this text part. Go to the Effects tab, select Boris FX Stylize, and choose the BCC Cast Shadow effect. Add this effect to the text animation layer. In the Effects settings, go to the Shadow Plane section and increase the position Z value to remove the shadow from the text animation. Then, go to the Image Plane section and use the Rotate settings to create the spin animation. Set the Rotate X value to -13, Rotate Y to 31, and Rotate Z to 12. Move the playhead to the start and create a keyframe for these settings. Then, move to the end and reset all the values to 0. This creates a nice spin animation. To make the movement smoother, go to the keyframe panel and apply an ease out graph to the keyframes. If the text animation seems too large, go back to the Image Plane section and scale it down using the Position Z setting. Also, I like to add glow effect to this. Go to Video Effects and select the free glow color effect. Add it to the animation layer. Ensure the glow effect is at the top of the effects panel. In the effects settings, increase the feathering to 200 and set the intensity to 0.1. Finally, I'm going to add snow overlay to this. Go to Video Effects, navigate to the Christmas effects section, and choose any effect you like. For this, I select this overlay and add it to the timeline. And I change the effect opacity to something like to 40. Alright guys, now our Christmas text animation is complete. Here's how it looks. So guys, that's how we can make cool text animation for Christmas in Filmora. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and happy holidays.